Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis, and in this video we are going to go through the new trailer that dropped for kind of the weapons and gear that we're going to be having access to in Lightfall. Now this isn't obviously everything, you know, some stuff's going to be hidden, secrets and otherwise, but this is kind of the initial teaser of exotics, which is what I figured most of this would be, and you might get a few glimpses of a couple other things. Obviously we get to see the new Strand / Lightfall armor. Warlocks, I love the helmet. I don't know why. It's just kind of the awesome ninja karate, you know, tie across the eyes is just like epic. And yeah, so I'm going to play through this thing bit by bit, and then towards the end, I'll probably play through it. I want to play through this thing in half speed for you guys, but that would probably take too long. But my advice is if you can go to YouTube, watch the video, but play it at half speed. The soundtrack goes from like sounding cool to also sounding cool, but changing to a completely different vibe. So please go watch this at half speed. It's just going to make it take too long. But we're going to go through and kind of start, and then we're going to stop where it kind of gives us a few obvious places. And here's one of them. So the first one is going to show on the left-hand side, we've got a new Stasis glaive. Seems like it's going to be an exotic glaive because it does have a specific power to it. Main reason it's going to be, I think, an exotic is because of what it's capable of doing. It's going to actually shoot a little floating frost orb, which kind of seems like a little like Stasis Nova Bomb that you probably have to charge it up with a certain number of shots or something like that, similar to the other exotic glaives where you have to build up the progression on it. But it definitely seems potent, and it's still going to be a Stasis glaive, and it looks awesome. I got to be honest. I love like the icicle look in the middle. It's going to be chonky on your back, and then you got the big, counterbalance in the backside. So the middle is going to be the Warlock. You've got a sidearm, which we'll see in a little bit. It seems like after a kill and kind of a reload that you're going to have a clip of like homing shots. You'll be able to see kind of the directions they travel. Very cool. On the right-hand side, we've got Chunk Boy Titan. And boy, is he chunky with the, what is that, Dead Mouse? Dead Mouse helmet. But yeah, he's loaded up with all the bullets. So I don't know if that's going to maybe be a new ornament for Actium War Rig. I can see that kind of fitting the color scheme. Chunky shoulder, though. He's also got exotic boots on. So if they're decking him out in all exotics in this one, we'll have to see what he looks like. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to be the Lightfall armor set for the Titan. I think there's some tweaks going on to some cosmetics here. But he's holding on to Quicksilver Storm. That is the pre-order bonus that you are able to get with Lightfall if you pre-order it. It has changed, though. So what they had done previously in a patch, they took the grenade and changed it from like arc to kinetic. And now the grenade, while it may be kinetic, it's capable of doing more. But I think this is now mostly, I think this is going to be a strand weapon, because there are sometimes you see bullets fire, and they're definitely green bullets coming out of this thing. So it could be a strand weapon, which means we actually might have strand weapons. Could be interesting. So not sure how that's going to play into all the subclasses and loadouts and stuff, but there's a lot of stuff we learn in this video, so we're going to go through piece by piece. Okay. That's Quicksilver Storm. We all know it by sound, and that is 100% the little green lines that show that this is going to be a strand weapon. Yep. So this is our sidearm. So you get the reload. So Final Warning is the name of the sidearm. Looks pretty cool. Charge tracking rounds. So you'll see after the reload, and he's mostly firing forward, and they are just tracking. So it's like pretty harder tracking than Osteo, but quicker bullet travel, I think. Okay, it's going a little fast for me. I was trying to chat. Excuse me, video. Jeez. So Deterministic Chaos, rhythmic debuffs. So you'll notice fourth shot will weaken enemies. Now I can't tell if it's like a pulse that weakens or if it's now just weakening. And then when we get to the 16th shot, big bada boom, aka fifth element. 16th shot makes volatile. So that one's actually going to be one of those that you want to continually fire. But that is actually pretty cool because it will set up an enemy, even if you're unloading machine gun on, say, a chunkier enemy, like a boss. You're going to weaken them after the fourth shot. So just by firing, you're going to get a weaken ability, which is nice. And then 16 shots later, or 12 shots later, I should say 16 total, you're going to be able to make them volatile, cause them to explode. You're still firing a void machine gun into them. Boom, boom, boom. Good times ahead. If we get anything like a machine gun meta, yeah, that void machine gun is going to be fun to use. Okay, so here is the grapple. We know about that. Okay, sorry, missing the pause button. I can't say this word. The second one's facade. I know how to say that one, but it's Critorachne. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna have to wait for somebody else to say it, but Critorachne's facade. Grapple, which is obviously your grapple, which you can do it anywhere in thin air. You saw him literally doing it in air. Gives Woven Veil. So once he lands, flinch resistance from Woven Mail. Now, I don't know what else Woven Mail does, but it is going to be giving you flinch resistance. This very much feels like a PvP exotic if you're a sniper. And if you grapple into a certain spot and then pull out the sniper, you should have flinch resistance for X number of seconds. Something like that. This also looks like the Lightfall sniper we've kind of seen in some of the promo. I think some people have said it's like a reskin of something else. Not entirely sure if it's just a Strand sniper like green bullets, but we will have to find out. But that definitely PvP sniper or PvP exotic. Less exciting for me because I don't do so much in PvP, and nor do I really care too much about flinch resistance. I'm just trying to function in normal. But for the elites, this could be a good thing for Titans to be able to counter flinch. We already go pretty high in stability, I would say. So if you are a sniper and you do want to avoid the flinch, a Titan already with flinch resistance coming from resilience, and then if you go high stability, something like that, you probably would have very minimal to none, I would guess. All right, so just a quick look. We can see some of the environment we've got on Neomuna. This feels like it's more inside the city. Also, we've got the Shadow Legion Cabal because they have the purple, the dark, like almost like indigo, really deep purple, plus the gold, though. The gold accents aren't nearly as bright, but the deep purple definitely signifies them in here. Now, this one, as a Titan, I am excited about. It's the Abiant lead. Abiant. Whichever way you say it, I'll figure it out. I'll probably look up these pronunciations later, but it's the boots, and you can kind of tell he's got the green, almost eyes on there. But the barricade spawns additional lashes. Now, this makes me wonder, well, I don't think that Titan could have any more bullets on him. He's literally got bullets on his arms. Like, his arms must weigh, bullets are not light, I'll be completely honest. And granted, we're a Titan, we don't, we defy gravity anyway, it's not a big deal. But I will say, like, that many shotgun shells, and that many, like, heavy machine rounds just hanging out on your forearm, that's gonna slow you down a little bit. But they say lashes. Now, I have been a little bit of a downer on the Titan subclass, the Berserker, I think it's called now. It was Tyrant, I think it's Berserker now. Because once again, it's a roaming super with, like, something on your fist that you punch with. Now, I briefly saw in one of the previous trailers when I went back to watch, like, a projectile that you kind of throw from your arms, or kind of in a cross pattern, and it looks like what these are, and these are called lashes. So you cast a barricade, and then these things come out of it, and I think this is what your super possibly is going to be able to do as well. Just a hunch, though. So here we go. Right? Bam. And then you'll notice, which I thought, I wasn't sure what classes were going to be able to do this, but you can see you basically suspend them in air. So it's a different level of stasis, where they're not encased in ice, but they definitely are not doing great. They can't do too much. It's like being caught in a trap, and they just kind of hang out there, and then he goes to town. Now, Quicksilver Storm. We already know about this one. Some of us do, at least if you pre-ordered the thing. Grenades create tangles on kills. Now, from last week and the previous couple of TWABs and articles we got, tangles are going to be, I think, what they're going to be calling the same as stasis shards, fire sprites, void breaches. Every subclass is now going to have its kind of thing that it creates, and this seems to be the tangles on kills, and you'll see it's the big floating object. So, fire bullets, load up a grenade, notice the end of the gun, there's the grenade, and that, which a little pixelated, that looks to be what a tangle is going to be, because we get actually a mention of it on the next exotic as well. Now, those things seem to be able to be thrown and kind of explode. I don't know all of the functionality of those things right now, but they definitely seem to be. So picture, like, if a Titan with stasis gets a kill, you have like the ice lance that you can chunk. This seems similar, but definitely for Strand. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be all classes making these things. So picks it up, actually, and looks like he throws it. So Warlocks, you've got the Swarmers. Destroying tangles spawns Threadlings, and I'm going to get these words confused at some point in this video, probably. Sorry in advance. But tangles, those things you saw floating in the air, you can apparently also shoot them. And if you shoot that one with these exotics, I guess, on specifically, maybe not everybody gets the option, you spawn threadlings. And what they look like is kind of the opposite of an ionic trace. They run across the ground, but away from you and towards the enemies and kill them. So he's going to shoot the tangle. Those fall, run across the ground, and yep, they're gone. So, Strand definitely seems like we've got some verbs. We've got tangles, we've got threadlings, we've got lashes, we've got the grapple we know already. Got the 3 subclasses. Whenever they drop the Strand article, big breakdown of the subclasses, you guys know I'm going to do that one. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Lightfall stuff is going to be coming, so don't miss all this info. Winter Bite, though. Freeze enemies with Frost Orb. Now, this is the question I'm kind of having with chat. Nouns, not verbs. Fine. Grammar words. You guys know what I mean? But okay, I'm sorry. Those are nouns when it comes to the subclasses. But the reason I say verbs is because a lot of the verbs have scorch or suppress or blind. Those are verbs. These are more on the noun territory, so that's fair. Winter's Bite, though. The Frost Orb. So you guys got to let me know in the comments below if you guys think this thing is actually shooting projectiles, which is like this floating stasis nova bomb, or maybe they're shooting next to it. Let me know what you guys think. So you got the projectile, so he fires. And it's so hard to tell. I'll do it one more time. Full speed. Floating orb. It looks like it might fire little stasis, projectiles out of it, but it's kind of hard to tell. But that's the idea. It looks like a stasis glaive. Probably got to charge up the frozen orb. We get the frozen orb charged after, 4 shots, I think they did on the other exotics. Then you're going to have what looks like a mini stasis, kind of mini Nova Bomb situation. So a nice way to freeze, embracing the stasis a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to tell what's going on. Could be projectile coming from the actual glaive, because it's going to have a stasis projectile. So it's hard to know, is it the glaive projectile? Is it the stasis orb? Either way, still pretty cool. Here we have more shots of the shadow glaive. And then behind it, you have a picture that I'm guessing is more of kind of Neomuna's, art and architecture. So it almost looks like kind of a mother holding 4 children, or they're looking up at her, kind of in story time, but very unique graphics. And we get into a little bit of the witness tease here. Tank. Now, we know Cabal tanks, obviously. Some of the Shadow Legion is going to be a bit of a reskin. We get that. We've been down this road in Destiny before. Tank looks a little cooler, I'll be honest. But Sheldon also noticed the top section definitely looks like it's got more of the witness pyramid ship kind of, all the little symbols from the raid stuff going on parked up there on top of the tank. So that's just kind of a spin. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we get today for this one. On the left-hand side in this picture, again, Quicksilver Storm. Here in the middle looks mostly like the Warlock's just kind of doing a Strand thing. On the right, that does look like a hand cannon for sure. Just the size of it is not a sidearm. Now, I think that almost matches up to the weapon they use to fire here. No, I think that's just a normal hand cannon. So, but that's the idea, is I think that's going to be a hand cannon. There's probably a model in game if I go look in Destiny right now that matches it. Some of you guys may know in the comments, but that's it. But we got some cool exotics, a little more tease on Strand. I mean, we may get more information on Strand coming soon. That being said, when we do, stay tuned and that video will come. But if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like below, leave a comment if you got questions, and stay tuned. Podcast is tomorrow night. And no, today is only Tuesday. It's Iron Banner today, podcast on Thursday. Probably going to get a big article tomorrow and a TWAB on Thursday. So lots to cover. See you soon. If you haven't followed me on Twitch or Twitter, it's Ebontis there. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.